Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, Doug Herring on YouTube, bringing you a quick play episode of Nations the Dice Game, and we're going to be playing the solo variant today, which will be interesting. I have not played this game before, so this will be a blind playthrough. I've read through the rules, and it has some similarities to the larger, broader Nations the Game, but again, just some similarities. Otherwise, it is truly a dice game. But let's go over the rules very quickly for the solo play, and we'll get right to it. So here we have our player board, and I decided to play Greece in this solo variation. Not that it matters, they're all the same. It just means that we're yellow. Get a round overview here. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this video is going to be a lot less fancy, schmancy than some other ones. I'm not going to be doing a ton of edits and pictures of cards and things like that. This game is not very long, and so I think I'm just going to do a straight playthrough for you guys, and I'll hold the tiles up so you can see, just like I'm going to hold this card up and talk about the turn overview. Now, the round, first off, we're going to do is we're going to bring out new tiles and events, and I'll show you what that means. Then once we've done that, we're going to roll our dice, and from there we get to do a bunch of things. Once we've rolled our dice, we get to take actions. For every action we take in this solo game, there is a reaction by the fictitious player that we'll be battling against, and we're trying to get to a score, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But what we can do during our turns, we can use our resources, our dice, and our tokens to buy tiles, to build world wonders, you know, the cool wonders that allow us to do things. And these tiles, and when I get into the tiles and I lay out the tiles on the board, you'll understand more, and do rerolls. Plus we get to produce and score then after that, and then we have to deal with famine, and then we change the play order, which will not take effect in this solo variant because we are always player one. And then we have to deal with war. Yeah. Now, you can see that in the two-player game we start with certain things, and that's what we are at right now. And then we get this card, actually, starting books, which is basically books is our culture, and it determines some of our victory points when we do this score books phase in the production. Okay, then, what do we have then? So, dice overview. Basically, we have certain kinds of dice. Now, one of the nifty things about this card is it kind of shows you what's on each dice. So you know if you get a red dice, what you're going to get, which is mostly war symbols, of swords, that represent your armies of quantities of 1, a couple of 2s, a 3, and a food. Because, you know, sometimes you can raid and get food and things like that. Then there's a blue die, which is mainly a culture and stone die, which helps you build wonders. Then there's a yellow die, which is mostly money and food, and then the regular white die, which is one of everything. And this is the dice that you start with. You have 5 beginning dice, 1 for each of these locations. So our temple, which it doesn't really matter, all these dice produce the same things, but it is supposedly or theoretically the culture center. And then you have the quarry, which is again theoretically the stone center, and then you have our axemen, which produce some military, but of course they can also produce money and food and books and everything else. And then you have the farm and the caravan. Now we're going to be placing tiles over these as we go. We also have a spot for a leader and a spot for a wonder. And then these are tokens that we get to start with. So at the beginning of the game, we're going to take all these and take them off our board because we get to use them. So we're going to do that. Just wanted to show you what the setup was. Okay, now let's go talk about the tiles. Before that, let's talk about the scoreboard. So here's the scoreboard. This is our culture track, and you see that currently we are at there, but I'm going to have to make an adjustment for the beginning of the game. And then we have our victory point track, which will go up. War, actually culture, the higher you are up in the culture, the more you're going to get more points over the person below you. So in a solo game, as I understand it, if you're ahead, doesn't matter how far you're ahead, if you're like that, you're going to score 2 victory points against your opponent there. And then you see these tiles. We also have a famine and war objective. So I've shuffled these. I'm just going to take the first one and put it there. So if I don't spend, keep for this phase, for the phase of famine and the phase of war, I will get, if I have 1 die or 1 token that gives me food, I will get 1 victory point. If I have 1 sword, I will get 1 victory point. Basically how that works. And you'll see how the fictitious player interacts with that, with the board as well. They kind of cheat, but that's okay, that's the point. Okay, that's the scoreboard. Now, let's talk about the tiles. So I'm going to lay out these tiles now. I've shuffled these. I'm going to give them another quick shuffle up and just make sure that they are pretty well shuffled. And then I'm going to place them out at random. I'll just go down these columns right here. So, boom, boom. Well, as I said, I did shuffle them. Ooh, Sun Tzu in the beginning of the lower stages. Wow, all three of the, I think there's only three of those tiles come out. A wonder, a trireme. Oh, and then in a solo game, we're not gonna place in those 4 slots. We're just gonna place these first 3. Now, all these tiles here now are not going to be used because we only have 4 rounds, and this will be the first of 4 rounds. And these are our tiles that we can purchase, and you can see that they have various things. Let me explain a tile. I'll use a leader, Sun Tzu. Now, if you can only ever have 1 leader, so or advisor. So if you get a new one, you replace this one. This is what he costs. Now, since he's in the bottom row here, so you can see these line up. So he costs 1 gold. Okay. And what does he give you? He gives you a secondary reroll. That's pretty powerful. Probably going to pick him up pretty quickly. This trireme costs 1 gold as well and gives you a red die. Okay, and then the pyramids. And these are wonders. These are pretty awesome. It costs you a gold, but then you're going to put them on your player board and not immediately in play because you have to spend 2 stone to be able to build it. And then it will generate you a gold token and at the end of the game give you 2 victory points. Pretty powerful, and that's how all of the wonders work. And then lastly you have these I think they're called territories or provinces or something like that. Basically you see it costs war, in this case 3 war symbols to get something that generates a gold token. Those are pretty powerful still. And then how does the dummy player work? So basically that's the buy tiles phase, and then of course once we buy them, they automatically generate these resources for us. So, for instance, if I buy this trireme, I'm at that moment in time going to get a red dice. Now, I can choose to sacrifice a die I've already spent or one I haven't. So, preferably, we're going to sacrifice the die that we used to buy that because that's the right thing to do because you immediately get to roll it and put it back into play. So, it's pretty powerful. Now, let's talk about the solo player. So, in the solo player, when we go to score books and that, he's going to get to roll one of these dice, and he's going to score that many books automatically that we have to keep up with to try and beat him. And in addition to that, he also then, during the buy phase, rolls this D4. And basically, you know, there's 3 rows of tiles by 3, so if I roll a 4, he actually doesn't buy a tile that turn. But if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, he's going to take a tile from that segment. It says the least expensive. I don't know. I mean, I think they all pretty much cost the same. I guess maybe at the higher levels they don't. So I'll probably just roll this die again going across just to see which one he takes. And that's going to be every time I finish an action, he's going to do that. Not the book roll, but the tile. So I think that's enough to get us started. And you'll see how it plays out from there. So let's do that. So I take that back. He's always going to take the cheapest. The first roll just determines whether he takes one at all. So he's always going to take one of the ones from there. So that's important to remember because as we go through this, he's going to end up taking them down. So I got to make sure I get what I want here. For example, if I probably want to pick up him, but then I'm going to miss out on that. So it's going to be give or take, you know, because this one actually is not the cheapest. This definitely costs more than that one because of the stone requirement. So I can probably pick up both of those, but then, you know, I'm going to lose. I might lose this. As a result, it's going to go from left to right. So it's going to be challenging, but let's get rolling our dice. Now, I did do one thing. I actually was saying that you do it during the book phase, but you don't. You do it when you turn over the tile. He gets to roll for his books. So he's going to start off with an advantage over me, which is going to give him extra points. Let's see what he gets. The dummy gets no books. That's a stone. So I'll take that. Woohoo! Okay, now we're going to roll 5 dice. And when I read that, it said ignoring stone. So if you ignore stone, it doesn't say re-roll. It just says ignoring stone. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So in the solo play, again, first time playing the game, so pardon me if I make some errors, but I think I'm reading that. It says, when you draw the event tile, which I've also already done, you also roll 1 blue die per age. So in the first age, it's 1 blue die. And give the rolled amount of books, which is culture, to the opponent. Ignore any stone. It doesn't say re-roll. So I'm not going to re-roll it. I assume that just means ignore it. But we're going to roll our dice, see what we get here. Okay, we got stone. That's good. Maybe we'll go for the wonder right off the... Well, it's only one stone, so not enough. And we got 2 swords, some gold, and a book. Some culture. Okay, now let's go and see what we're going to do here. Okay, so keep in mind, I do have a gold already, so I do have effectively 2 gold. So I could buy something immediately from the top row, but if I don't buy something from the bottom row, I'm going to lose it. And I really want Sun Tzu because he gives us an extra reroll. And at this point, I don't know that I need to reroll. I might reroll the stone. I don't know, and I can use this at any time. I kind of want to keep these because if I keep one of them, well, see, here's the problem. The provinces cost 2 swords each. I almost want to buy that trireme first, and then Sun Tzu would go, and then I'd buy the barracks. Let's go look at the board, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Okay. So, if I buy him, then I'm going to get the reroll token, right? If I buy him for 1 gold, I'll still have 1 gold left over to buy that one in the first round. That means all these other tiles will go away, but most of them are going to go away anyway, because I'll run out of resources. But I could actually possibly roll additional swords and buy something there. So, and if I get additional swords, then I'll get the victory point that I need. I also need a food, which I don't have. Let me think. I think, yeah, because I can get swords or food out there. It could help me solve one of the victory conditions from the starting tile. Okay, so let's do, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take my gold token, it's only 1, and I'm going to, no, you know what? Take my gold die, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to buy the trireme. I don't know how valuable extra rerolls are yet, but leaders should come out every turn, I hope. I'm gonna buy the trireme, and I'm gonna put that over my axeman there. Okay, so see, I did that, and I put him there. Now I'm gonna burn this die immediately, the one I used to purchase it with, like I said, and then I get to immediately roll the red die associated with the trireme. So here we go. Oh, stone. Really, guys? Really? Okay, so I was hoping for some additional swords, but I did not. I got stone, but that... Oh, actually, that's pretty valuable. Okay, I'll tell you why. So let's go back to the purchase board. And first off, though, that was my action. So the next thing that we have to do is roll for our dude. So let's see. I'm just going to roll it right here on the board so you can see it. If he rolls anything other than a 4, he's going to take the cheapest tile. He did. He rolled a 3, so he's going to take this one. So it says take the cheapest tile going from left to right. That would be this guy here. So Sun Tzu is out of the game, which is unfortunate. And then we get to continue on. Okay, so first bit of confusion. It says if you roll a 4 or if the column is empty, you do nothing. Which tells me that this 1, 2, or 3 does mean this. It's kind of worded funky. So let's play this. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm going to play it this way. The 3, I think the end result's the same. But that means that this one would go. It says the cheapest going from left to right. Well, they're all the same cost up there, and I rolled a 3, so I guess Babylonia would go instead of Sun Tzu. And I'm going to read that to you just so we can be clear together about what that means. And this is only effective in the solo game, but it says right here, when you draw after every action you take the 4-sided die. On a 1 through 3, remove the cheapest tile in column 1, 2, or 3 on the progress board. Okay, counting from left, shown below the columns. If you roll a 4, or if the column is empty, nothing happens. Okay, so that tells me that we move that one because I rolled a 3, so the cheapest in that column is going to be that one. That's the way I look at it. And there is nothing there, and I mean there's still tiles there, so you can do that. Now we're going to go to our purchase phase. So I still could get Sun Tzu, but I'm probably not going to. Well, I might actually be able to do it. This is why. This is also why this is important. I'm going to spend my gold token. Okay, so that goes into my used area, my yellow banner where it says Greece, and I'm going to buy the pyramids. I'm going to place the pyramids right here. Okay, that means it's under construction, and you can see that I've spent my token. Okay, now we roll the d4 again and see what we get. It is a 4, so no tiles go away from the board this turn, or this action. Then we go back to my board because I'm going to spend something there, not out here. Actually, I take that back. So I'm not going to get the 1-point victory bonus, though, from if I do this. However, the culture thing could keep me ahead, which is actually worth more victory points. So I'm going to spend my 2 swords. Okay, and those are going to go in my use pile, and because remember it's 2 times whatever, so it's 2 swords. And I'm going to buy Israel, which automatically gives me a culture token, which I get to keep. That would put me 2 culture ahead, which will help me make sure I'm ahead of the dummy player in the next round. Okay, now that was my turn, so now we got to roll for the dummy player again. Boom, he rolled a 2, so the terracotta army, it's a shame, goes. That is gone from the board now, and then now I'm going to actually build something on my board because there's nothing else that I can buy. Nothing costs culture, and I don't have any cash left. I could roll some dice, but let me show you what I'm going to do. Well, you know, I could do this next turn and re-roll all of these and maybe get some more coin and some swords to make sure I get the victory, and food to make sure I get the victory conditions. Or I can use these 2 stone. I could build that and it would give me an extra gold next round. That's pretty valuable too, isn't it? I'm torn on that. That's one of the things I like about games like this. I'm torn on my decision process here. I can build the pyramids next turn. The 2 points isn't going to count. As soon as I build that, I'm going to get that token. So I think I'm going to re-roll these. And I'll keep the 1 book. I'm going to use that to get ahead of the other player. Taking kind of a risk there too. But yeah, let's do that. I'm going to burn that and I'm going to re-roll. Hi-yow. And I got not much better. Okay. So, well, I got the food, so I'm going to get the 1 victory point. I got that and 1 stone. I have no more rerolls, so I can't do anything with the stone. I think you have to spend that all at once, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look up wonders real quick. I do believe you can't spend that in time. If you have a wonder under construction, you can pay the cost in stone, shown on the left side of below. To build it, to pay, move 1 or more dice and or chips that total up to the cost of or more from beside your player board to the player area. So I think you have to buy that all at once. So I think the stone I rolled, the 1 stone, is now useless. I have no additional rerolls because I did not get Sun Tzu. I did not get any additional gold. So, but I am going to get the victory point from the food. Man, that kind of robbed me of this turn, didn't it? And I'll get 2 victory points for being ahead of him in culture. Okay, well, let's wrap up the round because I have nothing else I can buy. Now that I've purchased, blah, 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 and done all those things, now I get to go to the scoring portion of the game, which is going to be produce and score. So when you do produce and score, what does that mean exactly? Well, the first thing we're going to do is, let's see. Okay, once everybody's passed, we move on. Then we produce and score. So all players in reverse order are going to may use dice or chips to show for books. Okay. And I guess production would be any of these things. I don't know what that means. Produce plus score books. So what am I producing? I mean, I produce when I roll my dice, right? I'm not going to roll them yet because I haven't spent all my stuff for the turn. So yeah, we'll just say, I guess, and based on everything I've seen, produce, well, famine. If not, famine comes later. So I guess this means that we're in the production and scoring books portion of the turn. So we're going to spend these 2. And what does that do? That's going to put us up to 3 here. Boom. And oh, that's what the production. We're going to produce and score books. Okay, so I did that, and that means that I am ahead of the green player, which is going to give me 2 victory points in this solo game. Okay, and then those are spent, and then I have a food. So we're going to go to famine now. I do have a food to take care of the famine, which gives me an extra victory point, puts me up to 3, right? And then interestingly enough, the green player only matters, really doesn't matter for scoring victory points, only the books. And I have the stone that is wasted, and that's it. So that is going to be the end of our turn because I can't do war. I don't have any wars, so I missed this one. So this is now gone. And we're going to go wrap around to the next part of the turn, so we're going to do a new tile and event. So the first thing we're going to do, now we're in age 2 now. So we're going to draw this, and you can see that this one is 2 food and 2 war for 2 victory points. Know the value of that, we'll see. And then we're going to reseed the board. First, we're going to roll 2 blue dice for the dummy player to see what he gets. Man, I've been rolling very lucky here. He got 1 book out of that, so he is still behind me this phase. That's awesome. So I'm still going to get the extra points for that. And then we clear all these. Goodbye, Sun Tzu. I really wanted you, but I didn't get you. All these go away. The brewery goes away. And we start by placing out. Sorry, man. I guess my breakfast isn't settled in. We're going to start by placing these. So the first thing we get is the Moa statues. So that's one to call that Easter Island. Anna Khomeini, 2 rerolls. That's pretty good. She's here in the 2 slot. Ooh, the Saharan Trade Center gives us a stone. That's pretty good. And then we got the porcelain tower up here. We've got England. So far, no regular tiles. Wow, Sejong the Great. Now I did definitely, as you can see, shuffle these. Chichen Persia. We're not going to have any regular tiles out. Oh, there we go. The Guild Hall. So I'm definitely have to buy the Guild Hall. I won't have any extra dice. That's rough. But lots of other stuff to buy. So, kind of a weird draw there. I'm going to make sure I definitely shuffle up the other age better and do some shuffling. I did do shuffling on here, and you can see they came out in different orders, but still. Okay, let's get on to our new round. Now, here's the good news. I don't have to get a ton of books because I have them already. But let's look at our dice here. So, I'm just going to take all these back. Boom. And I'm going to take these 3 tokens back. So now I have all 3, because I get the generated book from there, and I get these 2 tokens reroll, and I got to roll my 5 dice. Okay, let's hope for some good luck here. What do we get? Okay, well that was a lot of money. A sword. Man, I'm not doing good with my red die, that's for sure. A sword and a stone. Well, we know I need 2 stone, right? So I think let's go to the purchase phase. First action, I'm going to buy a tile. I'm going to buy the Guild Hall. Now, why am I going to buy the Guild Hall? Because I'm going to get 2 dice to roll immediately. Now, how am I going to pay for the Guild Hall? I guess it doesn't matter which one you replace, but thematically, I guess this would replace the caravan. So, what does that give me immediately? So, first off, I'm spending one of my yellow dice. Now, I have to give up one of my yellow dice, but you see I get a yellow and a gold for that. So, I'm going to get those 2, which I'm going to get to re-roll. Okay, here we go. Boom, what I get? I got another sword. Oh, that's good because that allows me to buy a province in the second area, and I got a food. That food doesn't help me too much because I need 2 to be successful. I'm rolling the absolute lowest thing on these dice. See, there's a 2 and a 3, and there's a 2 on here for food and a 3 money, and I'm rolling 1 food. Might want to re-roll that. Probably want to re-roll both the red and the blue die. In fact, I may want to do that right now just to, well, first off, let's go to the dummy turn. Okay, dummy player. Hopefully, I don't want him to roll a 1 because I want that, but I rolled a 3, so, oh, that's too bad. The Moa statues are going. Pow. There they are gone now. Okay, and that is the dummy player's turn. So let's go back to our turn. Now, I do have lots of money to spend. I still have 2 gold to spend. I think for my first gold, though, I really am going to burn that to get... I'm sorry, I need a sword, don't I? It means I need to re-roll. If I reroll, that's my action. I could still lose that tile, but I think it's worth doing. Okay, I'm going to use my reroll chit here, put that in my use spot, to reroll both of these. I have to be able to do better than that, I would think. And I don't. Wow. At least I'll have a lot of money this turn. I could get it. There's no way for me to get another... Oh, wait, yes there is. But it cost me 3 gold. If I get Chichen Itza, that gives me... well, I have to build... Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the dummy player. See, that reroll was my action, unfortunately. So, a 4, so he doesn't take any tiles. That's great because I am spending 1 of my gold. Boom. Actually, I spend the chit just in case I get something with an... well, I'm not. Nothing else is going to give me a new die. I'm going to buy the Saharan Trade because that gives me a stone. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that. But first, we got to roll, see what he takes. Hopefully he takes him because I don't want him necessarily. 3. Porcelain Tower, which is food, is going to go. Boom. Okay. And then, what am I going to do? I don't think I'm doing anything on this board this turn. I'm working down on my board so I can clear space. Here's my board. You can see my 2 provinces there that give me these 2 tiles. But I'm going to spend that and the stone to build the pyramids. Because I want to make sure, 1, it's built, and 2, clear it out of there so I can build another wonder. That's going to give me another gold token. Pretty nice, right? Yeah. Okay, so now look, I got tons of money, but we got to go roll for the dummy player. Okay, Mr. Dummy Player, let's do that thing. He rolled a 1, so we are going to lose Sejong the Great. It's gone from the board. And again, it does matter because I do have lots of money, and I don't have 2 swords anymore, though. I don't have 2 food. I don't have any rerolls. What can I do that's helpful? I can't actually build cheats niches, so I'm not going to get the 2 swords that I need. I just have tons of money. I guess, well, gosh, this turn is hosed for me. I got all this money and nothing to do with it. It's amazingly terrible. So I am going to spend my token and I guess my gold die to buy. Oh, there we go. This is what I can do. Anna Kamani. So she gives me an additional 2 rerolls. Now I got something I can do, right? Right. Now we got to roll for the dummy player. Okay, here's the dummy player's die. Let's see what we get. We get a 3. So he's going to take Chitsanitsa, which is actually what I was going to get. Not the biggest crisis in the world, but still not cool. And then we got some rerolls. I don't need any more money, so we're going to get rid of all the money dice, I think. And I think I want to reroll the red die because it's just not doing me any good. Anyway, you can see my dice here, right? So, you know, I should have burned. Oh, I know I did already burn the gold chit. So I have these dice to roll. I can reroll these 2 and the sword and this one. I'm not going to get the food off that one, so I might as well reroll all of these. I'm going to reroll all of them, see what I get. Are you kidding me? Lord Almighty, I got 1 food again. That is awful. Okay, well, I got nothing, so I guess that's going to end my round. I can't get any of those other things. Very bad roll this turn. Okay, let's go to the scoring phase. I only have 1 book, so I'm just going to score. I'm going to score that. I'll put that up there. Wait. I'm taking that back because I'm not done yet. I have 2 rerolls, so I get to do this again, and I'm going to. I'm rerolling all these dice again. Okay. Wow, so look what happens. Boom, boom. Now this isn't what I wanted necessarily, but this is a way better scenario. Using my 3rd reroll, I end up with 2 culture, 2 swords, and 2 food. That is going to help me. Now, I could go buy one of the other tiles, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to because I'm going to score 4 victory points on that, and that's very valuable. So now we're going to end the round. Okay. First thing we do is we score our books. I have 1 book on a die, 1 culture there, and 1 culture via a token. So that's going to put me up to 5. Okay. Now then we go on to we're going to score famine. So famine is up here. 2 food. I have 2 food on my dice here. Got lucky there, so that's going to give me 2 victory points. Also, I get 2 victory points. Sorry, I should be up at 7 because of the books. And then lastly, I get my 2 swords here, which gives me another 2. It's going to put me up to 9 for round 2. Just so you know what a good score is, to be Trajan, you have to score 50. Right now, I'm going on being Cleopatra. So got to do better than that, but let's keep going. We're in phase 3 now. It's era 3. So we're going to get rid of this tile here. Boom. And then we're going to add a level 3 tile. See what we get. Ooh, 3 food to get 3 victory points and 5 swords to get 3 victory points. That's going to be tough, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, now we got to roll for our dummy players' books. Okay, 3 dice for the dummy. Let's see what he gets. Hope our luck holds out here. It kind of did. He got 4 books. Well, he may have passed us on this one, but we're going to spend more to get there. So let's go back to his board. Okay, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So he just passed me. I got to get at least 2 books this turn, which I will probably because I have 1 and a token. Now let's go lay out the new tiles. Okay, so these go away. Goodbye. And then we got to. I'm going to make sure these are shuffled up. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just take them from different areas. We'll start here. Okay. That is just Ruinborg. Okay, 3 victory points. That's why I want to build more of these. A gold, costs 3 stone, and generates a food. Okay, let's go with this stack over here. What do we get? The Kremlin. So right off the bat, 2 wonders. Then we'll go with the bottom of this stack here. What do we get? Quebec. Oh, sorry, going the wrong direction. There. Quebec is a province with a knowledge and a victory point. Interesting. Okay, let's go in the middle of here. The sawmill. God, it's going to cost 3 though. Ouch. Okay, let's try this one. What do you get? Aztec Empire. Sword gives you gold. Let's go to the bottom of this one, see what we get here. Observatory. That is going to be a cheap 2 blue dice. I'm probably going to want to do that. And then the samurai goes up here. Now we're starting to run. Let's see what else we get. A frigate, 2 red dice, pretty powerful. Got two red dice things, and then Brazil, which is going to produce a stone and a victory point. Okay, so now I see that in the third era, the provinces do victory points. Interesting. Okay, and then we had a bunch that we didn't see come out this turn. All right, that is our tiles for the turn. So let's roll our dice. We're going to collect all our stuff. We've built up a pretty good wad of tokens here. Boom. 3 rerolls. That's pretty good. And we got 2 gold tokens, a stone token, and a culture token. And then we got our 6 dice. Now, I don't know what's better, 2 red dice. I guess in this one it'd be 2. Well, the 2 red dice could give me the 5 victory points instead of just 2 for being ahead in books. But let's roll and see what we get. Knowing that we got a bunch of rerolls. Oh, see, there we go. 3 swords. That's awesome. Okay. 3 gold here. That is awesome. Another sword. So we got a total of 4 swords. A food, which isn't going to be helpful. A culture, which will give me 2 culture and get me ahead of the dummy player, and another gold. Okay, let's think about what we're going to buy here. Okay, well, I don't know which. I'm worried about losing. There's 2 wonders, and we definitely want to build them. They do take 3 stone, of which I currently have 1 stone. I have nothing else that's going to produce stone, so I could take Brazil in the bottom, and that would give me 2 stone tokens, and I could try and see if I could get a stone elsewhere. I could also roll blue dice. I don't know what's on blue dice. Let's take a look at blue dice. Actually, blue dice, culture and stone. So I think the better play here, since it's only 1, I'm going to spend this one, put it up here to buy the observatory. Boom. Okay. For a gold, there's only 1. Now I'm going to take that white die, I'm going to burn it for 2 blue dice right here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any other way to get a white dice, so I only have 3 white dice currently, and then I get to re-roll those. You can kind of see the balls, so we'll see if we get, wow, 6 books. That's not what I wanted. Might re-roll some of that. Okay, I got lots of swords, but I have to spend 2 or 3 to get anything there. So I could spend 3 gold on the samurai, or 3 gold on well, the gold dice are going to give me good money and food. I got these dice. So I'm running out of blue dice, which is limiting me to some degree. I could also get, oh, yeah, well, first off, let's roll for the dummy player. Let's see what he steals from us. He's going to steal Quebec. That's okay. Okay, Quebec is gone. Boom. And then what are we going to buy? I'm thinking I might start off with spending this sword here to buy Brazil, because then that is going to give me a victory point at the end of the game and immediately give me another stone token. Yay. Okay. Now we go to the dummy player. What's he going to take from me? Oh, I can't pick up the die. Come on, Doug. Pick up the die. There you go. Okay. A 4. He took nothing. Sweet. Alright. Well, I think we'll... Man, I could do some re-rolling. I definitely want to re-roll these, because I want to see if I can build. Let's do that right now, if I don't buy it, though. Okay. Spending 3 gold. Okay. To buy, because I want the food. I got red. I'm going to have plenty of red dice, actually. I'm going to buy Urenberg. Okay. So that's going to be worth 3 victory points at the end of the game. That's valuable. And it's going to require 3 stone. That goes right there. I do not have the 3 stone currently. I only have 2. So I definitely need additional stone. I think I might keep one of the blue dice, re-roll it with this one here for the food. So I could end up with all the food I need. But first off, let's roll and see what the dummy player takes, if anything. He rolls a 3. He does. He takes the Kremlin. Okay, wait. The Kremlin is not the cheapest thing, right? So it's the cheapest thing. Actually, this is the cheapest because it only takes 3 swords. The Kremlin takes 2 money, or 2 money. Sorry, 2 swords. The Kremlin takes 2 money and 3 stone. So that's why I'm playing it. Tell me if that's not right. Okay. Because it does say the cheapest going from left to right. I'm assuming that is a cost, so I'm assuming that's in there. Okay, now still got lots of money. I could buy. Man, it's more red dice though. How many more red dice do I want? Red dice have a food and a bunch of swords. Or I could buy the sawmill and get tons more money. Well, mo money. See, right now I got 2 gold, so I can't buy the sawmill. Got 2 gold tokens. So I could re-roll a couple of things. I don't think I need this book. So I'm going to put that up for re-roll. I'm definitely putting one of these up for re-roll. See if I get some food or stone instead. And then, well, 1 food does mean nothing. I need 3 to do anything. So I'm going to re-roll that as well. And I'm going to spend a re-roll token. There we go. Boom. See, this is going to determine what I buy. So, man, no, are you kidding? Gosh, I get the worst rolls. Well, I guess not really the worst rolls. It's all 3 of those. And I got another book and another gold. So I do have the 3 gold I need, but we got to roll we got to do the dummy player now. Okay, let's see what he does. A 2. So 1, 2. So he's taking the frigate. Bummer, because I was actually going to buy the frigate, but that's okay. Well, I was thinking about buying it. I'm still not sure whether the sawmill or the samurai now are the most valuable to me. So I can't get stone off the green ones, or the... See, if I burn another white one, I'm reducing the amount of stone I can get. I guess I am going to have to re-roll. I'm going to re-roll again. I do not need all those books. So I'm going to re-roll, another re-roll. Boom. I'm going to re-roll this one. I will re-roll this one. And I'm going to keep the rest, I think, because I got a gold. That gives me 3 gold. I can buy anything in the top row, so we're going to do that. What I'm really looking for is some stone. And I got it. And 1 food, which doesn't help me, but I did get the stone. So, let's roll for the dummy player and hope he does not take what I'm after. A 2. Well, he's taken the Kremlin, which actually wasn't what I was after, so that's okay. Now let's go to, I think, before I do the stone and build Urenborg, I need to buy something else. The gold dice are going to give me what? They're going to give me money and food. Okay, let's do that. We're going to spend one yellow die, our 2 gold tokens, and we're going to get the sawmill. Okay, and I'm just going to replace the quarry, I guess, with the sawmill down here on our board. This is how our board's shaping up right here, and I'm going to get rid of this. Unfortunately, I'm running completely almost. I only got 1 white die left, but this does give me 2 more gold dice to roll, which gives us 2 food. Great, we just got the food kicker and 2 gold. So 2 gold doesn't help me. There's nothing I can buy for 2 gold, but I do still have 1 reroll left. What do I want to do here? Let me think. Well, I'm not going to get the 5 swords unless I find a way to buy the samurai. However, if I spend that, then if I spend the white one to try and get another gold or something, I'm out of luck. I can't spend this. I need it. I definitely want the culture so I can get ahead of him on the track for this round before we score, so I can score against him again. So I'm going to get the 3 points for the food, not for the war effort. And I got 2 gold, which I could do nothing with. I mean, this does give you 3 gold, which would allow me to buy the samurai if he doesn't take it. Might as well. I'm going to re-roll it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to re-roll this 1 die. See what I get. For a little luck, get 3 gold. No, I got 2 gold exactly as I got before. So that doesn't do me any good. Okay, let's see what our dummy player gets. He rolls a 4, so the samurai are still there, though I have no way to get them, and no re-rolls. So that's going to end our turn. This is where we're at right now. I'm going to put these guys right here. So next thing that we do is we go to produce and score books. So I'm going to produce 4. 4 books. That's awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4 puts me at 9. That's clearly going to put me ahead. So I'm going to score 2 points for that. 1, 2. I'm at 12 or 11 now, heading on my way to Cleopatra. But I'm going to get to score 3 more. I'm not going to have a very good first scoring game, I don't think, but I'm trying. Okay, so that's this and this spent. Oh wait, you know what? Before I do that, and I'm going to do this out of sequence because this is what I would have definitely, without a doubt, done this. I'm going to spend the 3 stone. Boom and boom to build Urenborg. Okay. that's I was holding it over for there. I just forgot about it, which I wouldn't have if I was playing by myself or not having people I could interact with. Anyway, I would have definitely done that. All right, now that leaves me with, so that's the production phase there. I did get this, so I got 3 food, which is going to score me 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. I'm at 14. That's for the famine, and then we go to player order, which doesn't matter, and then war. I did not get that. I was trying to. All I would have had, well, I couldn't actually. So I have 1 red die. So I did not get the war, 1 for 3, and that ends my turn. However, I do have 6 points now in victory points for the end of the game and my tiles, but we're going into the last round. Okay, new round. We're going to get rid of this tile here. We're going to draw one from the top of the 4th tile. So 4 food and 5 swords for 4 victory points. Okay, keep that in mind as we go. Now we're going to roll dice for the dummy player. I'm not that far ahead of him, so I could get completely hosed in this part. Let's see. Let's see if I get hosed. Okay, here's the 4 dice. What does he get? He gets, wow, so this is all, oh my gosh, how lucky could we have gotten? Look at that. I don't know if you can see it clearly. They're all stone. Every one of them. He got no books. Luck for us. We don't have to do any books to keep our 2-point score ahead of him. Okay, now let's go repopulate the board. Okay, we're going to put these into a couple little stacks here for us. And I think I'll start there. Boom. The Titanic. We know what happened to Titanic. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, then we got Nikola Tesla. Awesome. He does nothing. He's just worth 2 victory points. Of course, Anna Karenina is not worth any, so we might want to replace her after we use her rerolls. The Dreadnought. Okay, these are just scoring. That's interesting. So in the last round, everything scores stuff, right? Oh wait, I gotta get rid of the Samurai. He was gone. Let's see, up here we got Marie Antoinette for 2 points. We got the Algeria for a point. None of these give you any resources. No point in them, I guess. The South Pole Expedition. Ooh, 4 stone, but it's worth 5 victory points. Okay, we got an urban center for a victory point. That's not going to get purchased. We got Suez Canal for, wow, that's 6 stone, but 8 victory points. Wow. The railroad. Oh, and that's it. So that's our tiles for this last round, guys. Boom. Chakalaka. Okay. Now let's go roll our dice. So honestly, I don't know how well I'm doing, but I do have 2 stones, so I only need 2 to get South Pole Expedition built. It's probably more likely for us. I got all these dice here. I currently still have 3 reroll tokens, but I'm definitely going to be replacing Anna Khomeini. And then I got these 2 gold tokens. So there's our, oh, and my culture token, which I know I'm going to stay ahead on culture, so I don't need any culture this turn. But I could use 4 food. So let's go roll our dice and see what we get. I don't know if I like the mix of dice I ended up with, but it is what it is. Let's see what we get going on here. So, because like I know I'm not going to get the 5 swords, but I could get these provinces here. So what do we start with? I got 3 food, so I'm going to need 2 more food to be, oh, here's 4 food actually. So I only need 1 food to make anything worthwhile there. I do not need any of these books, so those are going to end up getting rerolled. I will take the stone. That gives me 4 stones, so I know I can get at least that. Except I have very little gold. I have 3 total gold, so if I bought the South Pole Expedition is only 1, so that's not too bad. And I have locked down the 4 VPs for the, but I need to buy stuff. Gosh, what's worth more, the 4 VPs or the stuff I can buy? Well, anyway, I do know that I'm going to reroll. You know, food doesn't do me as much good, but I need 4, and I have 4 exactly. Wow. What if I reroll them all? I think I'm going to reroll all these because I have a good chance of getting more food than that. Decent chance. Of course, the way I've been rolling, I have 3 rerolls right now, so let's do that first. Well, before I do that, do I want to buy? Yes. I'm going to first use a gold token to buy the South Pole Expedition, which I need 4 stone for, which I already have. That's going to give me a bump of 5 victory points. Now, I roll for the dummy player. Let's see what he gets. Okay. He's going to take nothing. Wow, I've been lucky on that part. Now we're going to do, do I want to continue to buy? See, the Dreadnought and the Railroad are just 1 victory point. I don't know what the value of that is when I got things that are worth, like these leaders. If I can spend 2 gold on Nikola Tesla, but I got to do my rerolls first, so otherwise I only have 1. So let's start with our first reroll and see what we get. Okay, reroll number 1 being spent. I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna take a chance and reroll all these dice because I still have extra rerolls. Okay, boom. What do we get? Okay, well now we're wow. Okay, so that was not a helpful roll at all, man. The reason why is because I already have the 4 stone. I could spend the 4 stone. I mean, I could spend the other 2 stone. No, there's no way I'm going to get another 6 stones. So the Suez Canal's out. So I need to re-roll basically all of these. I'm going to re-roll them all again. So first, though, let's hope he takes something useless. 1, he took the Dreadnought. I'm not going to complain about that. I didn't care about it. Okay, let's re-roll. Okay, here's our next re-roll token. Now, even though I spent those, I can still replace the leader. So that looks a lot better money-wise. I got money. I can buy a bunch of stuff and a stone. That gives me 5 stone, which doesn't do me any particular good, but it will allow me to build that. Okay, well there's no way I'm getting any more swords, so I'm not going to get the 5 victory points, or the 4 victory points for the war. But let's go back to the purchase board. Okay, so I know I'm going to be able to build the South Pole Expedition. I know that. So at this point, and right now I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gold. That couldn't have worked out better because gold is going to make the difference here, I think. Well, not a whole lot, but let's start by spending this gold one and purchasing Nikola Tesla. So we're going to take him. He's going to be worth 2 victory points. However, that does mean I do lose this reroll from Anna Kameni, who I had for a long time. She was useful. And then we got to roll for the Boogaloo here. What's he get? Wow, guys, he rolled a 4, so he took nothing again. That's helpful to me. Well, see, the problem is you have to spend all 3 swords, but there's only 1 province to spend them on. Since I'm not going to be able to get the war victory, I'm going to spend that and pick up Algeria, which just gives me another victory point, but that's okay. And then we roll for the big guy, see what he does. He rolled a 1 that time, so the railroad is gone. Again, not the worst scenario, because well, actually, that kind of hurt us a bit. Wish that had stayed out there. I will, because you can't do the wonders unless you manage to score them. So before this goes, I'm going to spend 2 dice and a token to get the urban center, which means I'm going to burn one of the dice that I've already used, and it just gives me a victory point, but hey. And then we roll for the dummy. Boom, he rolls a 1. There's nothing on the 1 row, so he doesn't take anything there. Okay, so I have a choice. I could try to do, wait, no. I don't have any rerolls, so there's nothing I can do to get, I forgot I do have a food token. Doesn't help me much. From the Uranusberg. Okay. The only thing I could really do, I think I'm out of things to do, because Nikola Tesla and Marie Antoinette are the same value. So I could buy, you know what, let's just go to build let's make sure we get this done. Last action of the turn, I'm going to spend this to build the South Pole Expedition. Okay. And that's going to be the end of it, because there's really not much more I can do. Now I know I stayed ahead of him on books, but we are going to do that first. Okay, so we're going to go up 1 more on there, not that it matters. That's going to give us 2 points, so at least I'm above Cleopatra now in the scoring round, and this goes, we spent the book. Now we go to, well, I didn't get either of those, war or famine points. So then we go to famine. I did not do that. I did not have 4 food. Okay. Yeah, I think it was still worth more to do the expedition because it gave me 5 points locked down instead of trying to roll to see if I succeed at getting those. Okay, so then we don't get anything for war either, so I'm not going to get much more. So now we just have to score what's left on our board. Okay, so let's talk about points here. I got 2 for Nikola, 18. And I come down here, I got 1 for this cultural center for 19. I got 1 for Brazil. Boom, 20. Got boom, boom, boom. 1 for Algeria. Now do my wonders. I got 3 for Uraniborg. 1, 2, 3. I get 5 for the expedition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 for the pyramids. So I got 31 as my final score. Let's see how we did there, guys. 31 points. And I probably cheated. I'm not sure. Okay, well, I didn't do too badly. 50 points is the big one. But I'm Saladin. I'll take Saladin. Would have been nice to be Trajan or Shaka, but I'll take Saladin. So we got 31 points. That puts us at that level. So that's how we scored in my first ever solo game of Nations the Dice game. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I think it's a cool game, actually. Pretty slick, right? Yeah, so I'm going to take this with me to my gaming group today. I got my big meetup this afternoon. We get to play at this nice restaurant, and this is one of the games I'm taking with me, though. I'm probably going to end up... Somebody wanted to play a couple different games. I think Dead of Winter was one. Dead Fleet, I like that. Or Dread Fleet, I like that one too. And then Evolution, which I also like. So I could play any of those, but I'm definitely bringing this with me. So, guys, that's my quick play of Nations, the dice game. It's going to be a little bit of a long video for a single video, but I think that's okay. We got a whole game in. That makes it worth fun, more entertaining. And that is going to be the end of that. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. So, final thoughts. Do I like this? Yeah, this is cool. I like it. It was a pretty fun little solo game. You want to sit down for a half hour, 45 minutes, because I did a lot of talking, so it takes longer. But if you do those things, yeah, this is fun. I can't wait to see what's going to be like with other people. I haven't played it with group yet. I think it gets pretty tense on that purchase board up there when you got 4 players buying off those lists, and you're definitely not going to get everything you want. You got a much more ability to control this solo game as far as what you get than in a 4-player game. We'll see how that goes, because I'll probably play a 4-player game today. Alright guys, well, I will talk to you later. See you next time.